How does the rule of completeness apply in a criminal trial? Imagine someone is trying to tell their side of the story, but only parts of it are shared. That can be misleading, right? In a criminal trial, this is where the rule of completeness steps in to help. It's a key rule that makes sure the full story is told, not just bits and pieces that might paint a false picture. When one side introduces part of a statement or document, the other side can ask for the rest of it to be brought out at the same time. This rule is written into law to stop the prosecution from cherry-picking evidence that only supports their case. It's about fairness and making sure the jury gets the full context. Think about a defendant's confession. If the prosecution shows only a part of what was said, the story might seem different than what was actually intended. For example, if someone says, "I was at the scene but did not commit the crime," and only the first part is shared, it might look bad. But if the rest of the statement, which might say, "I was there but I left before anything happened," is left out, the jury could be misled. The rule of completeness allows the defense to demand that the entire statement be shown. This is especially important during cross-examination when the prosecution is trying to make the defendant look guilty with partial evidence. The rule applies to written documents, recordings, or any recorded statements. It also now covers oral statements that were not recorded but are part of the trial. The goal is to give the jury a full picture so they can understand what was really said or done. For the rule to work, the extra evidence must be relevant and help explain or clarify what was introduced earlier. If the partial evidence is misleading, the defense can ask for the rest to be shown right then and there. During cross-examination, the power of this rule becomes clear. If the prosecutor presents part of a statement, the defense can immediately object and ask for the full statement to be introduced. They have to do this while the evidence is still fresh in the court's mind. If they wait too long, they might lose the chance to use the rule. This is because the goal is to correct any misleading impression right away, so the jury isn't confused later. It's also important to note that, if a witness talks about a conversation with the defendant that was not recorded, the rule of completeness doesn't automatically apply. But if that conversation was documented or recorded, the rule can be used to make sure the full story is told. This helps prevent the prosecution from using only parts of a statement to make the defendant look guilty or evasive. For the defense, understanding this rule is a powerful tool. It stops the prosecution from presenting a distorted version of events. If they see only part of a statement, they can demand the rest be shown immediately. This keeps the trial fair and ensures the jury hears the complete context. It's about making sure the truth isn't hidden or distorted by selective evidence. When used correctly, the rule of completeness helps keep the trial honest and balanced.